Hello, thank you for joining us with today's webinar session. Today's topic is all about our engine test solution. So we've, having spoken to several people, several customers, we've come up with a bundle that we believe best serves the engine maintenance and engine test community within the MRO sector. So today's session is just to explain a little more about that and to give you some knowledge that you could take away and perhaps have a think about whether this is going to be the right solution for you. So I will just change view so I can see my screen. So as I say, the idea behind this is to make engine testing as easy as possible for you and to remove any of the concerns, time constraints, issues around not just the test system itself, but around the bits that you need to go with it. So around the interface cable sets and the test programs. So we've bundled that together and just to try and make life a lot easier for you and reduce the time taken and reduce your testing bottleneck. So a little bit of housekeeping first. So my name's Sally. I'm the marketing manager here at MK Test Systems. So I'm just here as an overview, basically. So if you'd like to ask any questions, that's absolutely fine. The more technical they get, the less likely I am going to be able to answer them. But any questions that do come in today, I will more than happily pass on to my colleagues, either in sales or engineering, and they absolutely will be able to answer any questions you may have. So this session is being recorded. The reason for that is that a link will be emailed out to you afterwards, and it just means you can go back and watch this again, or you can share it with any other colleagues that might find it useful to know. As I say, please feel free to add any questions into the chat section. You'll see the chat bubble there if you're not familiar with Teams. So feel free to add them as you go along. I will probably cover them at the end of the session, just to keep the flow of everything going, but please do add them there. And lastly, aiming for this to take around 30 minutes. It might well be less. It depends if any questions come in, but yeah, it's likely to be 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so let's begin. So a bit about MK Test Systems. You may know of us already, depending on how you found yourself at our webinar. It might be that you stumbled upon us whilst looking for an engine test solution and not too sure who MK are, or it might be that you know of us, work with us already, know us in the MRO sector through our XLRT product. But ultimately, we've been in business for over 30 years now. We've become a leader in automatic test equipment, and we have customer support and offices all around the world. And our whole ethos is to provide innovative solutions and to support our customers. So we have the global reach and the commitment, and we are continuously developing the latest technology to help our customers with their testing. As of last year, we became part of Halma PLC, which is a global group of life-saving technology companies. They operate across multiple sectors, but ultimately the purpose of all of those companies is to grow a safer, cleaner, healthier future for everyone, every day. Proud to say that we're part of that. MK Test mission itself is to enable and continuously support the world's most demanding customers in testing their electrical assemblies, and we guarantee integrity, quality and accuracy. And today's product bundle that we're talking about is a good reflection of that, I think. So that's a little about us. In terms of aircraft engine customers specifically, we've been working with all these names here for many, many years now. And actually Rolls-Royce were one of the business's first customers all those years ago. And we work very closely with the likes of GE and Delta as well. So that's just a few of our customers, but there are engine aircraft customers specifically. So just want to talk about the challenges of testing and how you currently test. So we, having spoken to customers, we're kind of aware of what those challenges might be. So if you just take a pause and think about kind of why you're here today, what the issues are with your current system and why you're looking for a better solution for those. It is a fairly complex and definitely a time-consuming test requirement to test engines and the wire harnesses on them and in the interconnect system. So we've sort of come up with several of the issues that we're aware of, and I imagine that your challenges are similar to this, if not matching this entirely. So a big one that we know of is the long turnaround time, and how much manual testing or testing takes into that turnaround time and how much it impacts upon that. There is also complexity around meeting the specific CMM requirements with regards to testing specifications and the requirements for those. You also, therefore, with testing, you have to manage multiple suppliers and componentry around that. So with the interface cabling, and then the impacts that may have on your supply chain, on your purchasing teams. There tend to be high operational costs around testing as well, particularly so with manual testing, just in terms of the sheer amount of time that manual testing takes and the time cost impact of that. There is also issues around the need for specialist equipment, and therefore the need for training, and that perhaps may be lacking in your facility, and it's quite hard to sometimes justify what that will mean in terms of taking resource away from doing the actual thing to get on with the knowledge and the training, when there is so much other training that is required in MRO facilities. So I imagine your challenges are around some of these. If not, feel free to add in comments, and it'll be interesting to see afterwards. But we kind of feel that, having spoken to several customers, that some of these challenges are indeed listed here. So what is our solution? So we're calling it our tip for your TAT, and it was heavily suggested to me that we explain what on earth I mean by that. So when we're saying TIT, what we mean is test system plus interface cables plus the test program. So TIT, we will supply all of those as one complete bundle set. So you get the test system, and we will fully help you along the way in terms of determining which is the correct specification Automeg test system for your required unit under test. So whether that's an engine, an APU, an LRU, we can work with you and suggest or advise on the best specification Automeg test system for you for that. Interface cables. It's been suggested, or I've suggested internally within the team, that I think we should sell this as we supply test interface cable sets, and you also happen to get a test system with it. And the reason for that is that we know the interface is the complicated bit and the bit that causes most concern, pretty much around testing. So we know what we're doing with interface cables for the test systems. So we have a couple of options here, and we will supply whatever level that you require. So we can either do the design and the supply of those interface cable sets, or we can just provide you with the design of those, and we'll provide you with the specs that you need in the design pack and the drawings for them. So if you have a preferred cable supplier, you can use those, but we'll provide you with the correct connector types and everything to accompany that. It's entirely up to you. And then lastly, the second T is test programs. So as much as we believe that our test system, our test software is easy to use and easy to write the test programs, we also know that we are better and faster at it than anyone else. And if it's just purely a resource that you do not want to have to deal with, then we can help you save time with that and save any concerns about whether you're getting it right. And as I say, the time taken to do that. So we will pre-prepare, pre-write the test program for you. So the system would come fully loaded with that test program that's been written specifically for your required unit under test. And as I say, although we're calling it the engine test solution, it also does cover APUs and LRUs as well. So that is the solution in a nutshell are just the TIT test system, interface cables, and test program. And again, the test program is optional. If you want to just look at getting the Automeg and the interface cables, absolutely fine. If you want the test system and the test program, absolutely fine. It's kind of configurable to your requirements. So a little bit more about the Automeg. And so as standard, all of our Automeg systems, models, variations, whatever you want to call them, they all come with capabilities for continuity measurements, short circuit detection, insulation testing, and high pot AC. So that's all you might know that is dielectric withstand testing. They do have the option to include functional testing if required, and we can discuss that in more detail if you get in touch with us. And what they of course do offer is paperless data capture and reporting, and that not just includes passes and fails. It's got way more information than that in terms of the faults and the actual measurements taken. So there's an awful lot of information that can be useful, particularly in the growing world of big data. So we have identified, based on the most common kind of test applications within this area, we've identified our two most common Automeg models that are likely to work for you. So you can see there we've separated this out by application. So for those APUs listed, we recommend our D1500 model. BFM engine variants, again, the D1500 model. LEAP 1A, 1B, we recommend our E2500 model. GE90 engines, E2500, and PW E2500 again. It doesn't mean that that's the only applications that we can supply this solution for at all. It just means those are the ones that we have provided to date and that kind of are available. So any others, please send us the information, get in touch with us, and we will do the same as we've done here. We will recommend which Automeg model you should use for your specific application. So on to a little bit about how it works. So we have an online configurator tool available on our website. You can access this. I go to our website, which is mktest.com, or when I send you this slide deck, I'll send you a recording of the webinar, plus I'll also send you the slides themselves. Just click on this button here, or you can click on this link here, and it will take you straight through to our online configurator. It's very simple. It won't churn out a price for you at the end, because there's a little bit more to it than that. But what it will do is enable you to tell us what it is that you want to do. So all you need to do, it's just in 3 simple stages. Select your engine, APU or LIU. So as I said before, these are the ones that we currently have pricing and cable designs and everything good to go for. You'll see there's a suspicious AN other at the bottom of this list, and that just refers back to what I've just said, which is that if you do have an alternative that isn't listed here, please do tell us what it is, and provide us with the name of that unit under test that you're requiring, and we will contact you and then basically just work out what it is and how we can help. We do require you to share the CMM with us, I believe, is the main requirement. And if it's something other than that is listed here, then as long as you can provide us with the CMM, then we can advise you on which system would be best to use. Next step is for you to choose your interface cable options. As I said, if you go for design only, that's fine, and we'll supply the design pack for that for you. Otherwise, it's design and build, which is what we call in the full service, and you'll receive the actual physical interface cable set to enable you to connect your unit under test to our test system. So that just takes any worries about compatibility out the window at all, and it basically means that it's ready to use straight out the box, as it were. And then the third step is just tell us whether you want to include the test program. So it's as simple as that, really. Either you want it or you don't. Again, feel free to talk to us about what that involves, how much work you think that's going to take on your side. We can help you work out whether that's the right option for you. But essentially, it's going to be the quickest and easiest way to get your automatic test system set up and good to go. So as I say, feel free to head to the website to use the online configurator. You've got a couple of links there, or you can head to our engine test solution page, and that will provide you with links to that configurator. It will it's just simply a case of filling in a form. That form then goes through to myself and my sales colleagues, and one of my sales colleagues will be in touch and start talking about options with you, and sort of it you know, it's no pressure. It just helps give us an idea at the outset of what you actually want. So benefits of this system. I've basically covered what it is and how it works, and hopefully you can see that would be it's kind of the easiest way to get going with an automatic test system, and reduces any of the worry. It also reduces your turnaround time and your operational costs through the automation element of it. And we can guarantee that it's CMM compliant. So again, that takes any concerns out about that. The Automeg test system itself is generally known as an industry standard. We have a huge number of customers use this Automeg system now in various applications around the world, and it is referred to as industry standard. And so you're getting a very, very good test system within this bundle. Obviously, it means reduced sourcing and setup time, which is therefore, it's one comprehensive solution from a single supplier. So I suspect your purchasing colleagues will thank you for that as well. And it's a flexible configuration, so you can choose as much or as little of the bundle as you wish to. So you can go for the full supply, you can just go for some elements of it, take advantage of it for whatever you need it for, and that's fine by us. You'll get your pre-written test programs in MKAT format, so our MKAT format, which is the format that we need for it to run on our test system. So that's completely good to go. Again, it'll be built onto the system, and it's good to go for you. And the main thing is that this is a completely customized configuration for your specific unit under test or your specific requirements. So flexibility is great. A system that's going to suit everyone is great. However, you need it for your specific unit under test, and that's exactly what this does. So we've looked at return on investment, and this will just help with CapEx and help to justify this investment. So we've got a ROI calculator. I'm not sharing the actual calculator here because it's quite a boring look in Excel, but we can absolutely help you calculate what your expected ROI is going to be. Once we've got your configuration request, we can work through on a call or over email with one of our colleagues and yourselves. We can work through our ROI calculator and see for yourself with your specific circumstances what that ROI is going to be. So it takes into account the usual things that you'd expect it to take into account. So number of engines tested per day, the test time, typically a manual method versus using the automatic processes, and the different phases that involves using both methods, and then taking into account labour rates as well as a few other variables, but those are the main and obvious ones. So in the first illustrated example, based on testing one engine a day, labour rate of £100 an hour, you'll get return on your investment of this bundle within just over 6 months. So that's huge, and that's a very quick time. If you are wondering where we got £100 an hour from, the most recent average MRO labour rate that we could access online was in 2013, and it was £80 an hour. So I feel like we're being a little generous, but it's based on £100 an hour. So you'll get return on your investment just over 6 months. If you change that to testing 2 engines a day at the same labour rate, that ROI goes down even further, so you'll get return on investment in just under 4.5 months. And if it went back to 1 engine a day, but your labour rates are £120 an hour, then it goes to just 5.5 months. So either way, we're talking about a very quick return on your investment, and this will help justify, and hopefully you can see that actually it's a very, very good investment to save that time. We are more than happy to share our boring and ugly Excel with you, calculator with you on a separate call. It just doesn't make for a very pretty looking slide within this presentation. So get in touch with us, submit your configuration request, and my colleagues in the sales team will absolutely be more than happy to share that calculator with you, put in your specific variables, your specific data, and then we can work out exactly what your ROI is to enable you to speak to the powers that be with regards to CapEx in your business. So that's basically it. Next steps are, firstly, configure your system. So have a think about what it is you need. Just use the online tool. And again, when I send you this link, when I send you these slides, there's a link there to just click on it to get to the configurator. Select what you need. That will send a form through to us and we will then get in touch. If you'd rather you're not sure what you need, not sure which configuration you do actually need, you're more than welcome just to drop us an email to the sales team, which is just sales@mktest.com, and we'll book in a time with you. I've put no obligation. Obviously, there's no obligation. We don't do high pressure sales tactics here, and it's not what we do at all. So it'd be worth just having a conversation, just to sort of say you're interested in this, and you know it might help to talk through somebody over the phone as well. That's absolutely fine. And then lastly, it's just Q&A. So if you're watching this on recorded, on Webinar on Demand, obviously you can't ask your questions straight away. If you do have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to email sales@mktest.com. Myself or one of the sales team will get back to you with any questions you may have. And that's it. And I believe we've done that in 20 minutes. So that's quite good going. Thank you for taking the time to join us on this webinar. If you do have any questions at all, then please do, as I say, email sales@mktest.com. You can also email me if you like, which is sally@mktest.com, or visit our website. There's contact forms galore, or there's always the configurator there. So do hope you found this useful. If you would like to get in touch with us, if you would like pricing information, any of that, please feel free. We may follow up with a call or an email individually to you as and when you've registered. And again, it won't be any high pressure sales tactics. It will just be to kind of find out a bit more about yourselves and what your requirements are and basically how we could help. But we believe this is the easiest way to start using an automated system on your engine testing, and it really truly is a solution designed to make testing easier for you as an MRO, whether that is engines, LIUs. So that's everything. Thanks for taking the time to join, and we'll hopefully be speaking to you soon. Thanks very much.